Oh, I'm Chester the horse. How are you guys doing? Oh, this is trippy. I don't know how I got in this dimension, but today we're doing some math too. And we're going to learn about polynomials. Are you ready? All right. Hello. All right, so this is some Math 2 stuff. We've exited the twilight zone there. So this is called polynomials. Poly means many, like polystyrene or polypeptide. You might have heard some words with poly in it. Polynomials. So what it is, it's algebra. It has a lot of terms. Each one of these is a term. 5x to the fourth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This has 5 terms. Things about polynomials, they have exponents. We put the biggest exponent first, like 4. Then we go 3, then 2. This would secretly be 1. And this is none. In fact, you could call this x to the 0, because that's really like nothing there. And this could be 1, but we don't write those in. So polynomial, there's no bottoms. These are not fractions. They're never negative. Just nice positive numbers go down. It's called a polynomial. If you had a really, really short polynomial, like you just had one piece, you call it a monomial. Mono means one, like a monocle or a monocycle. Binomial is 2. Bi is 2, like a bicycle has 2 wheels. Humans are bipedal, binoculars, have 2 lenses. 2 pieces, 1, 2. And a trinomial, well, guess, tricycle, 3 wheels, tripod, triangle, okay, 1, 2, 3. Trinomials. Okay, so here's a, what is it? 1, 2, 3. Oh, let's say trinomial. Here's another trinomial. And so we can do things like add, subtract, multiply, divide. Let's look at add. This guy says to add them so we combine like terms. In other words, you look for the things that are the same. In fact, some people just line them up. And we start with the biggest exponent first. That's these guys. These have a 2 as their power. So we're going to add these together. And these could represent some type of problem in reality. Next week, we'll see where could these be used. Well, gravity is one, right? For example, we'll deal with next week. But we put these two together, just go like 3 cookies plus 4 cookies is 7 cookies. Well, what are cookies? X squared. So we did those, like to cross them off. I go to the next one. We work our way down. This was 2, this is 1. We have positive 5x and negative 2x. 5 of these, take away 2 of these is 3. So we say 3x. I like to cross them off so I didn't forget anything. Get the last guy, a regular number and a regular number, 6 and 4 is 10. And this is my final answer. You can't put these together. You might say, well, are these the same? No, it's kind of like this could be $10. This could be 3 apples, but this is 7 apple squares, like apples and apple squares, or chocolate and chocolate squares. They're similar, but they're not quite the same. So that's adding. We could also do subtraction. Okay, here's a subtraction problem. People get a little more confused. I've got this thing, subtract all of this. We did this a while ago. It's like distributing. Remember, pretend this is in your backpack. You have 4 apple squares, and you have negative 2 apples plus $8. So remember, you have to subtract this, and this, and this. So let's start combining like terms. We'll start with the first piece, 6x squared minus 4x squared. 6 minus 4 is 2x squared. They're gone. Now go to the next one. Negative 3x minus, wait, minus a minus is really plus 2x, isn't it? Take away a negative. If I took away a negative, if I opposited your negative, I would make it a positive. If I said the opposite of take off 2, that'd be giving you 2. So let's do minus 3x plus 2x. Negative 3 plus 2, or read it backwards. 2 take away 3. That's negative 1x. I don't have to put the 1, I can just put the x. A little trickier. And the last piece, we got 5. Take away 8. So we have 5 minus 8. I have 5 minus 8. Don't forget the negative. Distribute the evil negative. 5 take away 8, negative 3. And that is your answer, subtraction. A little trickier. Okay, new question for you to do. I got this. Take away all of this. And here's my answer. Except I have an error in my answer. What is it? You find it. Pause the video for a moment, and then I'll show you. I'll show you. Okay, did you find the error? It was right here. We'll take the first piece. Minus 9x squared minus 3. Negative 9, negative 3 is negative 12. So that's okay. Then we look at the next piece. We've got 2x minus 8. So remember, you're minusing 8. 2 take away 8 is negative 6. That's okay. But the last piece, it's wrong. Negative 7 minus a minus is actually plus 9. So negative 7 plus 9, or read it backwards, 9 minus 7, this part should have been plus 2. So that's your correct answer. All right, let's get more advanced. What do you think of this question? Remember distributing from a long time ago? Imagine this is in my bag, and I got 3 of these bags. Like this is my grocery bag. I have this in there, and I have 3 of those bags. So remember, you take the number out here, and you distribute to each number. You're going to do that first. You're going to multiply before you subtract. And then you have to distribute here, but you just say, do I distribute a 2 or a negative 2? Should I distribute the 2, then subtract it all? The easiest way to do this is think of this as negative 2. Distribute the negative 2 to each one of these. So multiply these, rewrite it, then combine anything that looks the same. Combine like terms. Like terms, remember when we say combine like terms, that means things with the same exponent, like x squareds go with x squareds, x to the 4s go with x 4s. Okay, come up with your answer. I'll pause. Okay, here's so far 3 times 2 with the x squared, 3 times negative 4, 3 times 5, distributing, negative 2, negative 4, negative times negative is positive, negative 8. And then notice, check the exponent, still the same. 2, then 1, then none. You see that a lot. 2, then 1, then none. Let's combine. Start with the big guys. 6, take off 4 is 2. Go to the next one. Negative 12 and 6. Well, 6 take off 12 is negative 6. And finally, the last one, 15 minus 8. I've already taken care of that negative. 15 minus 8 is 7. And this is my answer. And we always put our answer in this order. The square, then the x, then the 1. You count down 2, 1, and none. That way when you check answers, everybody has it in the same order. Okay, a little trickier. All right, you figure this one out. Put it all together. What do you think it is? Okay, there's some multiple choice. Which one is it? Try it. Pause the video. Okay, I believe the answer is B. Let's check it out. Of course, what if I did something wrong? Let's see, what do we got? Nothing here, nothing here. Oh, distribute. Take the negative 3 and distribute. So let's rewrite this as minus 3a. Minus 3 times 4, minus 12. Okay, so I redid that. And here's a 2 right there. Plus 2a, and 2 times that's negative 6. I cross it out. Now let's go find all the goodies. Let's find the letters first. Let's find the apples. 2 apples, take away 3 apples, add 2 apples, add an apple. Let's find all that. In fact, 2 apples and 1 apple, that's 3 apples. Take off 3 apples, plus 2 apples. That's actually the 2 right there. In fact, that's the only thing that works. 2, 3, take off 3, plus 2. Let's see if the numbers add up correctly. We got a minus 8, a minus 12, a minus 6, and a positive 1. So we got minus 20, minus 26, but add 1, minus 25. And that's my answer. Okay, so hope you feel good with all that. We'll talk about division like later, like tomorrow. But let's learn multiplying. Okay, we all know how to distribute. This would be 3 apples plus $15. But let's do this. Let's put 2 things out here. Let me put a plus 3. We talked about this little first semester. I previewed it. We've got a binomial times a binomial. It's a binomial times a binomial. I got 2 pieces, I got 2 pieces. And the answer is a trinomial. And this procedure is called FOIL, which is an abbreviation for first, outside or outer, inner, and last. That's where I'm going to say this word. We say FOIL. You go, what do you mean first, outside, inner, last? F-O-I-L. You don't even have to know this acronym. All you have to do is know how to distribute. It's really just double distribute. But there's a way I like to do it. Okay, one way to do it is just go, okay, let's see, what do we got? We have two things out here that want to distribute. The A wants to distribute, and so does the 3. Well, you could do that. You could say, let's just cover the 3 up. Let's just take the A and distribute the A. So A times A squared. In fact, this is first. Now, what do you mean first? In here, A comes before 3. This is the first piece of this, and this is the first piece of that. We say, I'm first, and I'm first. So distribute these, but you don't have to really remember, just go distribute, right? And then now they say the outside, okay, A times 5. If you look at the whole problem, isn't this A kind of on the outside and this is on the outside? If you cover that up and say, hey, we're on the edges. So, but you don't really have to even know that. Just kind of go, well, I know how to distribute already. A times A squared. A times 5, 5A. It's important though you do it in that order. Okay, do this first, then do this. And now that you distributed that, take the second piece, the 3, and distribute these. Distribute this and this. 3A, then 3 times 5. Okay. In fact, this way they call it inner. When we did 3 times A, aren't they kind of on the inside of the problem? We're on the outside. We're in the inside. Outside, inside, because we're in the middle. And then last, well, remember we said the A's were first? These guys are like last. We're the last piece of the parentheses. So that's how they came up with this order. This is supposed to help you remember the order, but you don't need to know this. Just go distribute, then distribute again, and you got the perfect order. But are you done? No. But we did in that order on purpose because this answer is in order. A squared, but you notice these guys? Combine like terms. 5 and 3 is 8. 8 apples. Don't combine with this. These are apple squares. And then 15 comes down. And this is your answer. And you might go, why am I doing this? This is hugely important. You're going to do this so much from now on in math. It's called foiling. Next week, this has something to do with like gravity. Gravity is all around us. This is an equation of gravity, believe it or not. This is gravity's equation, but the numbers will be a little different. Talk about that next week. But this is called FOIL. Okay, so here's another one for you to try. You try it the regular double distribute. You don't have to remember this is first, outside, inside, last. Just start with the A. You see it first. Cover up the 2 because it's too confusing. You see all this. Cover up the 2, distribute that, write it down. Distribute that, write it down. Combine like terms, you got the answer. Okay, go ahead and do it. When you get good, you can do it on your head. And you go, what do you mean you can do it on your head? I'm going to tell you a little bit about my method of how I do it. So here's what I just said, though. A times A squared. A times 6, 6A. Okay, now do the other one. We did the A's, right? Use your finger, cover that up. Distribute this guy. 2 times A, 2A. 2 times 6, 12. You're not done, but looks perfect order. The middle guys always like to get the other. A squared, 6 and that is 8A plus 12. You did it, called double distributing. There's other ways to do it. Some people do a box, like in biology class. They pick one of these, put it up here, A plus 2, and they put one on the side. Doesn't matter which one's where. A plus 6. Here's A plus 2, A plus 6. And they fill in the times table thing. A times A squared. Isn't that it right there? A times 2, 2A. Isn't that it right there? 6 times A, 6A. Right there. And lastly, 2 times 6, 12. Right there. And they go, here's A squared. These guys go together. And here's 12. Ta-da! That's using a box method. That's why sometimes we say squaring it. You got A squared. Yeah, we got a square. But I'm going to show you a better method because tomorrow is the big challenge. What's going to happen tomorrow? you're going to get this and try to go backwards. That's what happens a lot in math. This is like one of the hugest things in math. It's never going to go away. Every year in math, you're always like, we got to factor it. You got to factor it. Well, you don't even factor it. When you go backwards, we call it factor. I'm going to tell you about that tomorrow. How do you go backwards? Okay, this is where you want to learn the Charlie Brown method. And normally I wear my Charlie Brown shirt to school. I'm going to show you how to do this problem again, but with the Charlie Brown method. And what's so great about the Charlie Brown method? And why do I call it Charlie Brown? I'll tell you about that tomorrow because we won't make the video too long. Okay, so I'm going to pretend I don't know the answer. But the Charlie Brown method, I can look at it and say the answer. I do it all in my head. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to draw a picture of Charlie Brown. Okay, Charlie Brown. Here's a picture of Charlie Brown. Of course, he has different expressions, but why do I call it Charlie Brown? Okay, we're going to draw Charlie Brown. What do you mean? Just bear with me here. Okay. What do we do first? Same as before. We covered up the 2, right? Okay, so we're going to go a times a squared. In fact, the numbers on the left make the left answer. And now you're going to do the numbers on the right. The numbers on the right, these are the right numbers of the parentheses. 2 times 6 make the right part of the answer. Okay, these are on the left, and these are on the right. Now, I'm going to draw the middle, the bottom of his face. This 2 times a is 2a. And this 6 times a is 6a. So we do the insides and outsides. 2a and 6a makes 8a. And wasn't that our answer before? Do you see Charlie Brown? You might say, I don't see him. Here, let me draw a body on him. You see him now? I'll give him a tongue. Now do you see him? Okay. There's his smile. There's his chin. Here's his ears. Here's his nose. And this is his hair or eyebrows. So that's Charlie Brown. Okay, so there he is. See? Some people say it's Stewie, or it's Arnold, or it's Lemonhead. Okay. But what's so great about Charlie Brown is because when you have to go backwards, Charlie Brown's the key. I'm the left hair. I'm the right hair. See, I'm the left hair in purple. I'm the right hair in red. And I'm the middle. I'm the bottom of the face. We'll deal with that tomorrow. But if you start doing like this, you can do the problems in your head super fast. And you go, Mr. Newell, how can you do it in your head so fast? I'm like Charlie Browning them. Let's put a okay, this time I use the letter X. No problem. But I do this in my head. Okay, can you get the answer? Charlie Brown style? What do you mean? Okay, what goes first? What's on the left? Look at the left numbers. Just go X times X. X squared. Okay, now, see this goes all the way across. Now this, his hair crosses over. 10 times negative 3. These are the last numbers. These numbers are on the right. So remember, this is the right pieces. This was the left pieces. So go 10 times negative 3. Put it way over here, negative 30. So the left pieces are on the left. The right pieces are on the right. Because the order is important. Now, you get the middle. Where's the rest of his face? Remember, there's his ears. Here's his nose. These are his eyes. He's got one eye blinking. Those are his eyes. Here's the hair. So draw the middle of his face. In other words, draw his smile and draw his chin. That's the middle. And can you do it in your head? Plus 10x, I will write it, plus 10x. Negative 3 times x, negative 3x. 10 minus 3 is 7x. And this is your answer. Okay, this method I know seems strange, like why do I have to do it? Trust me. You think you can go backwards? Not if you don't know Charlie Brown. Okay, I'm going to put another one up. Ah, look at this. I got new numbers in front. Now, can you do it in your head? Go ahead and try it. Pause the video. Here's what I do in my head. Cover these up. There's the guys on the left, right? These are the left. What's 5 times 3 with x times x? 15x squared. You draw it in. Later, you won't even have to draw it in. Okay, now let's do the right. Look at the numbers on the right, the plain numbers. Hair crosses over. 2 times 4, 8. Put it way over here because we need the answer in the correct order. Big number, then little number. Okay, can you do the middle part in your head? Yeah, eventually you won't even have to draw Charlie Brown. You'll just picture him. What's 2 times 3? That's 6. 6x, 6 cookies. What's over here? 4 times 5. See, some people do this. Don't do this thing called a diamond method where you put things in each box. No. That's called the I want to get the answer wrong method. Some teacher will show you that, like, no. And then they split it and it's just like confusing. Just go, what's 6 and 20? If you need to write it, you can write it. That's plus 6x. 4 times 5 is plus 20x. 6 and 20 is 26x. How are you going to go backwards tomorrow? Okay, there's my answer. Okay, I'm just going to put one last, oh no, wait, a couple more. I'm going to put something kind of funny. X plus 10, X minus 10. Okay, here's that other answer. Cool. Do you notice these are opposite? Yeah, they have a funny name. They're called conjugates. Conjugate. Okay, it's a kind of funny name. These are opposites. A neat thing's going to happen. X times X, X squared. There's that. 10 times negative 10, minus 100. I'm done. You go, wait a minute, you didn't finish. Sure I did. Look, what's 10 times X? 10 cookies minus 10 cookies. 10x minus 10x. Here's plus 10x minus 10x. Isn't that gone? Yeah. Can you go backwards? Okay, so that's pretty much it. Sometimes somebody will throw a letter in here. I'll do one last one. Then I'm gonna have you do the worksheet. I know this was a long video, but we would normally spend more than one day doing this, but we're so smart we can learn it in one day. Give you one last one, then you guys do the worksheet, and then I'm gonna, I gotta put up the final question that I want you to answer. Go ahead and try this one though. Okay, you ready? That's 3 times 4, 12, x squared. Hey, I threw y's on here. Who cares? 12x squared. What's these guys? Negative, they're on the right. Negative 10, ooh, with y's, okay. Negative 10y squared. What's in the middle? Can you do it in your head? What's that? 15. What's this? Negative 8. That's an xy. That's an xy. They're the same. 15 minus 8, 7xy. Okay, for our big question I want you to answer to get credit. All right, here's the homework credit question. There it is. Is it A? Is it B? Is it C? Is it D? Type in your answer. So that's what you do to get credit, but don't forget to do the worksheet also. Even though I don't want to see the answer, you need to practice, because tomorrow, try to go backwards. And that's why it's so important to understand Charlie Brown. If you can draw Charlie Brown, you can go backwards. Either way, whatever it is, type it in, you've got it.